Hi, I'm attorney Mark Blane, and today I'd like to talk to you about the mistakes you can avoid in your personal injury case that can make a true difference in the outcome. Delay in medical care is a really big item in this category. Remember, you have one shot to get this right with the insurance companies, and part of that is showing your damages and proving them up. In order to do that and accomplish that in a very meaningful way, you have to follow all of the doctor's orders that you get. If you miss appointments or things like that, it doesn't bode well for the case later, because now you're creating opportunities for the defense to poke holes into your case. And that takes away your credibility if it ever went to a jury trial. So delay in medical care is really, really important. What I mean by that is this: if you get into an injury-producing event, car crash, slip and fall, whatever, you want to make sure you're going to doctor visits right away. First of all, you're not an expert. Usually you're not a medical expert into what you went through. And you do feel pain and discomfort, and you're thinking to yourself, well, look, do I really need to go to a doctor? Do I need to really produce medical bills that who knows what's going to happen? Well, my response to that is your health comes first. So you must make that a priority. And so forget about the case, forget about the injury-producing event, but think about what you need to do to get better for yourself and your family. So that's number one. It's really a big area, because sometimes I have people who get into these car crashes, for example, and there's a little bit of a delay, and then they finally get to a doctor, and that's great. But then you see through the course in care that they're not really complicit or very compliant with their medical care. So for example, you'll see little segments of medical care that aren't congruent or consistent. That too can be an issue, because now the defense can say later that you must not have been that injured, because a person injured in this category of injuries would have done X, Y, and Z. So you're giving opportunities to the defense to really poke holes in that. Another mistake that usually happens in a drunk driving situations, let's say you get injured in a car crash from a drunk driver. Well, it's one thing that the police officer tested for alcohol, arrested the drunk driver at the scene, and quite another if that same person pled guilty to the charge or was found not guilty for the charge. And what I mean by that is this: when you get into a drunk driving crash, you want to make sure you have the proof that they were intoxicated, because you can use that later in your civil case, your personal injury case, for punitive exposure or punitive damages. And those are damages that are a little bit above and beyond your regular damages for pain and suffering. So it's a big one. Now, a lot of lawyers don't investigate the criminal side effectively and get that proof for your case. I do it on every case, because that is the foundation I need to order for those punitive damages, to have that deterrent effect to the drunk driver, so he or she doesn't do that again to our community. I mean, any drunk driver going out on the road is a danger not only to you who got into the crash with them, but to everyone else on the roadway. So one of the big mistakes that I see is not getting that proof, getting that foundation set early on, and using it effectively in your personal injury case. The last mistake that I see is talking to the adjuster without a lawyer, giving a recorded statement. I mean, that's really something that you need to consider really effectively within yourself before you even think about talking to a lawyer or an adjuster. You need to think about, what is the goal here? Are you injured? Do you need medical care? If the answers to that are yes, you really need to think twice about even giving a statement at that point. What you really need is information. You don't necessarily need to retain a lawyer right away, but what you do need is information to help you make an informed decision on what you need to do. Now, I'll say it every time. Not every case needs a lawyer, okay? But every case does deserve and need effective legal counsel to help make that decision for you. And a lot of times when you give a statement to the adjuster without a lawyer present, you're going to say things in that statement, more than likely, that can be taken out of context and used later against you in a court situation, mediation, arbitration situation for settlement. So you want to be very, very careful. Protect yourself, talk to a lawyer at the very least, or at the very minimum than that, get information. And on my website, you can get free downloads for this. So in the end, to avoid all of these legal pitfalls, the first thing you need to do is talk to and get an experienced trial lawyer who's been in a jury trial, that has experience with these types of situations. So again, you can make an effective, informed decision for yourself and your family. Now, I've got tons of downloads of my website you can look at, but more than that, feel free to reach out to me anytime. You can call, text, email me. My contact information will be somewhere on this video. But with that said, I want you to know I'll be there for you if you have any need or information that or questions you need answered. And with that, stay strong.